ready? Hey family, what's up? What's going on? How are you doing? I miss you guys, of course, as always. Oh man, I'm just catching my breath. I'm just catching my breath. Also, if you hear water, I am currently sitting in the bathtub drinking my tea with my plants. So catch these vibes. I hope you can feel the good energy coming from me right now. Oh man, y'all. Deep breath in, deep breath out. I'm just catching my breath, as I said. First, let me check on you guys. How are you doing? How are you feeling? How are you feeling mentally? How are you feeling spiritually? How are you feeling physically in your body? How are you feeling emotionally? Let me know. You know I care. You know I want to know. And it's been a while. As for me, God has been showing out. It is all I can say. And, whenever I say that, I feel spirit telling me back that it wasn't just off of God's grace alone. You know what I mean? The message is that I did my part as well. I worked hand in hand with God and with the universe and with the divine to usher all of these blessings in. Not to say that God needs our help. No. God is God alone, absolutely. But we also have to do our part. One thing I never liked was having a prayer life alone. Having a prayer life alone is like wishing on a star, wishing. You can't just wish and you can't just hope. Note I said just. You can't do those things alone. Yes, wishing and hoping and praying is amazing. It sets the tone for whatever you're trying to usher into your life. But once you have wished and once you have prayed and once you have hoped, what do you do next? You don't just sit and rest on your laurels like they say. You get your ass up and you put yourself in alignment with what you want in whatever way that looks like. Does that make sense? So yeah, whenever I thank God for all of the blessings that have been coming through relentlessly, I hear Spirit tell me that I did my part as well. And I also thank God for that. So if you guys know me IRL, in real life, I just found out what that meant. So that's why I had to use it. That's why I had to use it. But if you guys know me in real life, you know that last month, me and my children were blessed with a beautiful new home in Charlotte, North Carolina. And this has been a long time coming. This has been a 2-year manifestation project. 2 years of unintentional and then intentional manifesting. I say unintentionally because it started as a hope and a prayer, like we said earlier. I remember being at my lowest place and me talking to my kids and just, us imagining like what our new start is going to be. And I told my kids this. I'm like, do you guys know you helped me manifest this home? And they were like, yeah, we know, Mom. Because they're so like spiritually evolved and, pats on the back for me. Come on, Mom. You did that. Like, you did that shit. But we used to sit around and just say, I asked them, like, where do you guys want to move to? Like, I don't want to be in Virginia anymore. I've grown out of it. I'm feeling like a big fish in a tiny pond right now. You know what I'm saying? And me and my children settled on Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, my best friend also lives here, but it was something about the vibe of Charlotte that caught my spiritual eye. On the spiritual side, we lived in Virginia for 7 years, so there's water all around, beaches, bays, whatever, it's there if it's water. And so I looked at it as the time in my life where I needed that water energy. I needed to learn fluidity. I needed to learn how to move like water. And I am a water sign, but at the time, during my early stages of my spiritual journey, I realized that I was on the low vibrating water sign side, and I had to raise my vibrations to get in balance and equilibrium. Water signs have the tendency to hold on to things. We hold things because water holds time. If you think about it, the water that we have on this earth has been here since the very beginning of time. But the oceans that we have been the oceans that we have had since the very beginning. Even when I moved to Virginia and I first went to the beach, I felt uneasy in my spirit. And I sat with that for a long time, and I was trying to figure out, why am I feeling so uneasy? And the feeling, because I'm so empathetic, the feeling was, I was feeling our ancestors. I was feeling their fear and the fear of the unknown when they first stepped onto that water and sand coming to shore. So absolutely, water holds time, right? Water signs hold. Water is a strong force. Water is a very strong natural force. We all know about hurricanes. Hurricanes come through with no mercy. Hurricanes don't give a fuck. Hurricanes destroy. But just the same as water can destroy, and just the same as water can hold, water also flows through. Water also washes away, which you can look at as letting go. Water can also be very calming. And another thing, I did mention that I was sitting in the bathtub right now. True to my water sign Scorpio self, whenever I sit in water or sit near water, sometimes I even do spiritual work with my hands in a bowl of water. I receive downloads and spiritual messages. I tap in a different way. I tap in easier than I would if I were not sitting in or by water. So just a little background on water signs, and if you guys are interested, I will come back around and give you guys a little deep dive through on all of the elements: water, fire, air, and earth. Anyhow, living by the water, and I'll say with the water in Virginia, was exactly what my spirit needed at that time to help me learn to be in balance with my water sign self. And when I realized I was growing out of and molting out of Virginia and was looking for another place for me and my children to place our roots, Charlotte set my radar off. Charlotte doesn't have any beaches from what I have been told. And when someone told me that, I'm like, ding, ding, ding. Okay. It's time for me to move into my earth era. Do you understand that? I was with the water already. That's in balance. Now this season in my life is about earthing, grounding. Does that make sense? Our life truly comes in eras. And I'm not saying that you know, each era is an element. That's just what I noticed about my life specifically. So you have to be tapped in with your personal life to know where you are and what the hell is going on and where you need to go and where the fuck you've been. You know what I mean? So, okay. So I got it in my mind. Charlotte. Now I'm hyping my kids up. Hey guys, you want to move to Charlotte? Your aunt's there, your uncle's there, your grandma's there, your cousin's there. It gives us a chance for a fresh start. The falls are great, blah, 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 okay? I'm doing my research. I did the groundwork and I did the legwork to make sure that this is where I wanted to be, to make sure this is where my children wanted to be. I vetted it out, right? All right, so all the time while I'm doing my research and vetting out, I didn't have no money to be moving to no motherfucking Charlotte, okay? I didn't have the money. Not even close. So, so I put it in my mind, all right? Now, I put it in my mental vision board, Charlotte, North Carolina. This is what it's going to be like for me, right? I was imagining me laying in my backyard, wherever God chose to move us to, and just laying on the grass and hearing the sounds of nature and not seeing any light pollution, just being able to see the stars so fucking clear, right? That was my imagination every time I thought of Charlotte. And if you know me, IRL, here I go. If you know me, IRL, you'll know that this is all I talked about. Whenever I would talk to someone that I know about me moving to Charlotte, I would tell them, I can just see me laying in the grass, listening to nature, looking at the sky, looking at the stars. And I felt that feeling within myself, right? So after getting that part down, right? Getting the manifestation part down, even down to the part where I was imagining what I would cook when we got into our first home. Like, what would be our first meal? That's always special. So then I'm imagining the taste of that food. So I'm engaging all of my 5 senses when it comes to this manifestation, right? Okay. So once I got that part down and I put it in my mental vision board, now I have a goal to run towards. All right. So notice I said running. That was not how I was supposed to be doing this journey. That is not how I was supposed to be executing. So God had to slow me down. I was running, I was rushing. I was like, I gotta go, I gotta move. I move. Hurry. Nope, because that was on my time. I was trying to be on my time. It wasn't about my timing. It was about the timing of the divine. So what? I had to learn to let go. I truly had to learn to let go in this period of my life. I'm not talking about just letting go of the past. I'm not talking about just letting go of past hurts. I'm not talking about just letting go of certain relationships in your life. It went much deeper than that. Yes, detachment is very important, absolutely. But I'm talking about letting go in a different way. You ever notice that when someone is drowning, which I used to use that word a lot. I'm drowning right now. I can't even come up for air. I'm drowning right now, talking about in life, right? I had to catch myself and stop claiming that, even though that is what it felt like. But it's what it felt like because it was what was real to me. And because it was what was real to me, I had to realize that I'm causing the drowning. And as I was saying before, have you ever noticed that when someone is drowning, they're freaking the fuck out? They are freaking the fuck out. They can't even be saved. No one can even come through and save them barely because they're freaking the fuck out. And it has been said that if you're trying to save someone who is panicking while they're drowning, you run the risk of drowning as well, because they are freaking the fuck out. Arms flailing, legs kicking, water splashing, they're drowning. And they're making the atmosphere around them worse. I had to learn to let go and be peace and be calm. I had to learn, and I'm gonna say it to you twice because I mean this shit so fucking much. I had to learn to be calm and be peace and let go and let it flow. Yeah, it sounds fucking crazy to just breathe while you're in the midst of drowning, while you're in a chaotic atmosphere that is causing you to panic, which is causing you to freak out, which is causing you to drown. Sounds like it doesn't make sense, but it does. It does. I'm here to tell you. Being in that water, and I'm talking about metaphorically, I had to stop flailing. I had to stop kicking and screaming. I had to stop freaking out and panicking. And I had to breathe. I had to breathe. I just did a breath right now, unintentionally, because I've been practicing my breath so much. I've been practicing breath work so much because I don't want to drown anymore. So breathing, right? And once you breathe, you allow your body to float. You have to have those deep breaths, and you learn this in swimming class. No, I don't know how to swim, guys. I'm about to learn, okay? Like, I don't know how to swim, okay? I'm going to learn so that no one can say my black ass don't know how to swim. But, yeah. I had to breathe. I had to relax. And I had to let it flow. I had to let God flow. I had to let the divine flow. I had to let myself flow in that water. The waters of life, if you will. So that I can float. And if we're constantly in the waters of life, if you want to think about it like that, then we're put in positions to where we have to always be conscious of our breath. In our spiritual state, in our emotional state, in our mental state. So that we can keep that calm with us, so that we can keep that peace with us, so that we are always able to flow through life. So that was my lesson. Getting out of my time and getting onto God's time. And the only way you can shift yourself into God's timing, into the divine's timing, is to learn the art of letting go. I let go of all of my expectations, and my prayers started to look different. I let God know what I wanted. God gave me confirmation that it was a go. I let go of my personal expectations. Not I let go of my hopes and dreams or what I wanted. God is going to give us the desires of our hearts. The divine is going to give us the desires of our hearts. Because once we desire it in our heart, it automatically aligns with the divine. Once it's a true desire, not just a in the wind catch want, not just an in the wind, oh, I want this real quick, I saw this and I want it. What does it mean to you? Is there a desire? Is there a passion there? And once you keep that desire and passion in your heart, it will automatically align with the divine, because the divine is within us and we are in the divine. So whatever we truly want in our heart space, the divine and God will back that up. Does that make sense? Follow me here. You know, my mind be going to deep places real fucking fast, so you gotta buckle your seatbelt and hold the fuck on. But I had to let go of how I was expecting everything to happen. I didn't know how. I didn't know how the fuck this shit was gonna happen. And some of the reasons why I was drowning is because I was trying to figure out how the fuck everything was gonna happen. And it wasn't my fucking business. I had to learn to stay in my own fucking lane. Get the fuck out of God's lane. You're not God. We are not God's source. God lives in us and we live in God. Absolutely. We are God's. Absolutely. But we are not God's source. The divine herself. We are not that. So we have to move out the fucking way and fall into place. Know your motherfucking place. The universe kept me in fucking check. Get the fuck out my lane, girl. I got it. You don't know what the fuck you doing. Just fall into place and I'm going to tell you what to do. And I'm going to tell you what to do once you tap in. So you got to stay tapped in. Right? So I let go of how I was expecting everything to happen. I let God move in that right and in that way. And I allowed myself to be led by God and by the universe and by the divine and by my ancestors. Shout out to my ancestors. Oh my God. They put in overtime for me and my babies every time. And that's exactly why I keep them some libations and some offerings on their altar. Thank you, ancestors. But getting out of God's way and falling into alignment and falling into flow with the universe meant me falling into alignment all the way around in the spiritual and in the physical, because as above, so below. Falling into alignment in this physical realm meant me doing what I have power and control over, what God gave me power and control over. And what do I have power and control over? What do we have power and control over as a collective? As human beings on this earth, as spiritual beings on this earth having a human experience. Let's put it like that. What do we have power over as spiritual beings on this earthly realm having a human experience? Well, we have power and control over our human body, our human nature and everything that comes with it. That means our mental, our emotional, our spiritual, and our physical. That means taking care of our physical body. That means taking care of our mental space. That means doing everything in your power to make sure that you're in a good mental space. You might need to get into therapy. You might need to get into meditation, whatever that means for you. That means doing everything that you can to stay in a good spiritual space. Absolutely. Tap in with your people. Get close to God. Get close to your ancestors. Whatever your spiritual journey or walk is, or whatever it looks like, do it and get deep into it. Whatever you do, get tapped in. Whatever that looks like, tap in with your source. And that means doing whatever's in your power to stay in a good emotional state. We have to make sure our heart space, where our emotions come from, is at balance. And I posted a TikTok about helping to balance the heart chakra. That's where our manifestation power comes from. It starts in the heart. And if our heart is not clear, if our heart is blocked, we won't be able to manifest the way we need to. Our heart is literally, scientifically, look this up, a magnetic field. It is magnetic by nature. So what we feel in our heart and in our emotions, we attract to us. When we're feeling down in our heart and in our emotions, when we're feeling sad and depressed, we attract that. It becomes our space. It becomes what's in our energy space. But when we unlock and heal and treat and take care of our heart space, our emotional space, we begin to attract things of that nature. Healed things, happy things, feel good things, right? That was also a part of my lesson with manifesting this big thing. Different manifestations are on different levels. And you can only manifest according to what level you are on. Some people might be able to manifest a couple of $100, but they can't manifest 10,000. That's just a small example. Your heart has to be in that space to attract it. Do you believe in your heart that you are able to receive this? You have to align your mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical to manifest the things that you want. Think of it as the power of all of the elements. So I got out of God's way and I aligned with God's plan. And I allowed myself to be led and guided by my ancestors and by the divine, by the universe, by God, by source, absolutely. And I started to see everything move into motion. So before I knew it, I was getting closer to that point where it's like God pushing me. God was pushing me. Energetically, I did not feel like I should be in Virginia anymore. Spiritually, I knew that I was not supposed to be there anymore. Me being in Virginia, my children being in Virginia, our roots being in Virginia. It didn't feel right. You know how, and y'all know I'm a plant lady if you know me IRL. If you know me IRL, you know I am a devoted plant mom. When you have a plant in a pot, it will grow out of that fucking pot. And if you don't repot it, it starts to wither. It starts to turn yellow. It starts to turn brown. It starts to die away. You can tell that the plant is starting to get sick and unhappy by the leaves. But when you go down to the roots, it's the roots. It started at the roots. It started at the roots. So you have to repot your plant in new soil and in a bigger pot. The point is you change the atmosphere that your plant is in, and then it begins to flourish again. It was time for me and my children to uproot and reroot somewhere else. So I was feeling that energy. I'm like, it's time to get the fuck out of here. Cool. That's when I knew that God was saying it's time to put the pedal to the metal and execute. God and my ancestors and the divine was telling me, I don't care if you're scared, baby girl. You think you're scared. But I know, we know, that we have given you all of the tools that you need to flourish. Jump into that ocean and swim, boo. We got you. We taught you already. You got it. And I did, and I jumped. And when I jumped, I was approved immediately. And when I jumped, God made the rest of that money come through immediately. I swear on everything. And when I jumped, next thing you know, me and my babies were relocating to Charlotte, North Carolina. Rerouted ourselves in Charlotte, North Carolina, and a brand new beautiful home. Oh my God. Oh my God. So let me tell y'all that right now I am still in a total state of disbelief. I'm working on that. You know, God is like, all right, I'm going to give you a chance to be human. But you also need to realize that this is your life now. You're on this energy space now. So a lot of big blessings are about to be coming to you. So I need you to get out of that disbelief phase. You know, feel it how you feel it and feel through it, but get the fuck out of it because you don't want to block these big ass blessings that are coming your way. So you know what? Yeah, that's where I am. That's how it happened. That's how it happened. And here we are. And I'm so grateful. So grateful. I'm about to cry thinking about it. I get so emotional. Thank you, God. Because y'all have no idea. Oh my God, the darkness I crawled through, the darkness I grew through. Y'all would wonder how I'm alive right now. And those who know me in real life, IRL, they know it's been a long time coming. They know the deep darkness, pain, and depression I had to grow through. But I thank God for it. If I had not died to myself a million times, I wouldn't be sitting here in this bathtub before you with this testimony. And if you guys can take anything from this, please take this. It's possible. Let God lead the way. Control what you can control, which is your emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical. Take care of your body. Take care of your mind. Take care of your heart. And tap in with God. Align with God. Align with the universe. Believe from a deep place. Manifest using all of your senses. Manifest and pray and meditate. Manifest and feel what you're trying to manifest. Use all 5 of your senses. And next thing you know, you'll be jumping into your newest, biggest blessings because you have escalated yourself to a higher spiritual level, because you have evolved to a higher self. Okay? Y'all, I just came to keep it short and simple with a quick message. I missed you guys so fucking much. I hated not being able to podcast, but God had to put me in tunnel vision for a moment. Whatever you're trying to manifest is coming, baby. Stay tapped in. Stay tapped in. Do you understand? And as always, I love y'all so much. Bye.